Here.
Nestled at the foot of the Gong Hills lies a beacon of hope for vulnerable girls of Kenya, a safe haven for those who have experienced profound hardship at the beginning of their lives. What began as an idea of Kate Fletcher's quickly took root and sprouted into a blossom of hope for girls who were in need of love, support, and encouragement. And after each girl passed through the green gates of Hekima Place, they were home. Journey with us as we take you through our story to see the change happening across the globe. For us to show you together, we are building the future, one girl at a time. Welcome to Hekima Place. Located just outside of Kisii in Kenya, there is a home. Not a typical home, but one filled with life, laughter, and opportunities. And there is a school, one built on love, encouragement, and pathways towards a limitless future. Hekima Place is situated at the base of the Gong Hills and overlooks the Great Rift Valley. Placed on 5 acres of land, there are 4 homes, a large dining room, an office building, a home for Kate, a cozy guest house, and a playground. If you were to peek through a doorway, you would see life in action. You will find a mom and 11 sisters playing games or perhaps helping each other with homework. Or you may see them doing chores or celebrating a milestone. You might see everyone gathered around the dinner table, sharing tales of their days and the lessons learned along the way. But most importantly, you will see a family. And as you wander the grounds and stroll through the shamba, you will discover a green doorway. As you pass through, a colorful campus beaming with life will unfold in front of you. Built to inspire joyful learners who are eager to discover a new world, Hekima Hills Learning Center encourages each student's creativity, inspires their curiosity, and unravels life's mysteries that surrounds them every day. Hekima Place is the outward realization of Kate Fletcher's lifelong conviction that every human being is deserving of dignity, love, and the opportunity to lead a full and productive life. At both our home and our school, we meet each child where they are. We provide the love, support, and education needed to grow into independent, empowered adults who can create positive change in their communities and in the world.
Chin up, chin up. There it is. Good job.
At Hekima, we receive children through the Department of Children, and most of them are brought here for care and protection.
Founded in 2005, Hekima Place is a safe, loving, and faith-based home for orphaned vulnerable girls in Kenya. The girls who come to Hekima Place have experienced profound hardships in their young lives, ranging from abuse, neglect, and abandonment to the loss of their parents due to the devastating impacts of HIV/AIDS or violence.
My name is Margaret Nyawera. I'm the director, Hekima Place. Here in Kenya, the poverty level is very high, and because of poverty, some children are abandoned by their parents. Others, they have no parents because the HIV or other condition, parents have died. So most of the children go through a lot of suffering. They find life very difficult because they have to be the one to look after the small ones. Some of them have to engage with child labor so that they can provide for themselves or their siblings because they have nobody to look after them. Others are rescued because of cultural practices that are against human dignity. Children come here very much wounded, and helping them feel healed, feel loved, and trust that we'll be able to love them without abandoning them has not been easy, but we work as a team. In Hekima, we live as a family where every house has a mother. Every child is given time to be held, to be cuddled, and to be appreciated. And through that, it helps each child feel very, very important. So I think through that interaction, holding them, talking positively to them, engaging with the dialogue with them, it helps them heal.
It was just so obvious that women were considered as tall children. I said, I have to help. I have to make a difference for girls. So that's what we did. That's why we did it. Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Fletcher. I'm an American widow. I have been many things in my life. I was born in Philadelphia, the firstborn of 3 girls. To Betty and Charlie Kane. We lived in a rented house. And my dad had 2 problems. Alcoholism was one, and addiction to gambling was another. So my mother sent us to a home, which I think was an orphanage. There were 95 little girls on a beautiful, gigantic property, full of trees with a big garden. And I lived there till 8th grade. When I got to be in 8th grade, I had the bright idea that God wanted me to be a sister. The Sisters of Divine Redeemer were the ones who took care of us there. And they had a home in Pittsburgh, a mother house is what it's called. And there was a high school there. So 8 of us decided that we would go 300 miles away to high school in Pittsburgh. So that's what I did.
After belonging to the Sisters of the Divine Redeemers for 2 decades, Kate left the convent to care for her aging mother, setting her on a new pathway to a future she didn't anticipate.
So I taught school in the upper primary for 15 years. And one fine day, I was carrying the book of readings out of the church, and Dr. Fletcher got out of the back pew and says, "Can I take you to breakfast?" So we date for about 6 months, and then he asked me to marry him. We had only been married for 15 years, and I hated to give him up. I was kind of mad at God because he was the best gift I had ever received. So anyway, my cute little honey went back to God, and I had no idea what I was going to do with myself. I had never done anything alone, never. So I wrote to the Archangel Google and said, AIDS orphans, Africa volunteer, those 4 words. I wrote to the site, is there anything I can do to help your orphanage? And the Jesuit father who started Yumbani Children's Home wrote back and said, come, teachers and nurses, that's what we need. So I got on a plane, and I amazed myself. I said to God at 38,000 feet above the Atlantic, I know this is your doing. You better take care of me because I haven't a clue what I'm doing. And they were predicting 20 million orphan children from the AIDS pandemic. I said, ooh, and the devil is going to love them. Who's going to protect them? Who's going to help them? How do human children grow to adulthood without any adults helping? So the Holy Spirit said, well, you could love some. I said, yeah, I could love some. So this clever God of ours put me down in a rented space 20 feet from a 3-story stone building. And it had been empty for 10 years. They had tried to do a boarding school. It had a wraparound porch, it had a wraparound veranda. It was absolutely perfect, and it was empty. So I said to the owner, if I can put a board together and get some money, could we bring children here? He said, sure. People were knocking on the gate. I said, well, we'll go slowly. We'll do 10 children every term. Well, I must have been crazy. By the end of the first year, we had 22 children in that house and 22 children in the house that I was living in. Then the owner knocked his son and family out of the third house on the property. It was just amazing. It probably sounds ridiculous to say how clever God was, but I don't know how else to think about how big God's love is for these children. So by the time we got the third house full with 20 children, I knew a couple of things. We couldn't stay there, so we started looking for property, and we found a couple of properties that we could nowhere afford. And then 25 miles west of Nairobi, on the edge of the Great Rift Valley, we found a wonderful piece of property. And in 2009, we bought 10 acres. Because I was a kid from a broken family, I wanted the kids to have as much family as I could. So we built the place. We built the place where we would live in family units, 10 children and a mommy. I used to say to them at supper time, there'd be 40 kids around the supper table, and I'd say, what do you know? And they would all shout, that we are loved. I think that's what every child needs. I think that's the only way to grow, is to have somebody believe in you. Somebody who knows you can make a difference. Somebody who knows you can be successful.
With Hekima Place thriving, Kate set her sights on the next chapter of the organization to bring quality education to the girls of Hekima Place and to the surrounding community.
So the teacher in me wanted them to get education, because I think the only cure for poverty is going to be education.
With over 8.9 million Kenyans living in extreme poverty, access to quality education can mean the difference between life and death. The unemployment rate has steadily increased over the past 10 years, and without an education, underprivileged children in Kenya have little chance of breaking the cycle of poverty.
So Hekima Hills started in 2020, just when the government had introduced a new learning system called the CBC, or competence-based education. The new curriculum was based on skills. It was also based on critical thinking and children being innovative. Now, what we have seen is a number of schools don't have the adequate facilities to be able to roll out all these skills-based.
With overcrowded classrooms, limited resources, and physical discipline being a common practice within schools in Kenya, learners struggle to reach their full potential. Though public schools are free, families living in poverty who struggle to survive are stretched even thinner. Students enrolling in primary or junior secondary school are required to bring their own desks. Some schools lack adequate funding, resulting in students losing the only meal they may receive that day. With dirt floors, limited supplies, and lacking facilities, many schools fail to provide a solid foundation for educational success. And as families fight to provide life-sustaining resources such as food, shelter, and clothing, prioritizing education falls.
My name is Miriam Mwangi. I'm the Board of Management Chair here at Hekima Hills Learning Center. If you compare with the public schools, you'll find a class with 40 up to 50 learners in one class. And that can be quite a handful for a teacher to be able to give personalized attention.
It was very common, it still is common in Kenya, to beat children for bad behavior and for bad marks. And we decided we were never going to do that. We were never going to shame them with our words. We were never going to blame them, because all those things diminish self-esteem, and they encourage a little person to think of himself or herself as not worth much.
In an atmosphere of love and security, Hekima Hills Learning Center ensures that each student will dream of the future, experience possibilities far beyond their beginnings, and find the pathway to a life that is self-sufficient and uniquely theirs.
So in this particular school, if you compare it with the public schools around, it is one of the best. It has well-trained teachers, very clean and cool environment that is conducive for learning. So, and our mission is to develop joyful learners who will be useful to the society out there. So Hekima is a one-streamed school, and in a class we have maximum of 30 children. And that way the teachers are able to give individualized attention to the learners. Education doesn't have to be painful. Education, you can learn by fun, So this is a place we have created an environment where you can enjoy your education and remember, once you are out of this institution, you'll remember that it was a lovely place.
From an idea to reality, Hekima Place has supported over 160 girls beginning from just days old throughout their university education. With the support of people like you, the difference being made in the lives of each girl under our care has a lasting impact that ripples out across the globe.
My name is Ami Njiku, and I am 14 years old. When I wake up, we always take a bath and take the breakfast. Then after taking the breakfast, we always go and brush our teeth. After brushing our teeth, we do our duties, big and small. Everyone has its own duty. And after we finish washing the dishes, we go and sit in the carpet, start reading the storybook, and wait for the time. We always walk because our school is just behind here. I am a leader at school. I am a commander, and I love my work. And being a commander in school, I am the scout commander. I am the one who is in charge of scout. I prepare them for the parade on Monday and Fridays, and I am the one who always follow up about scout whenever comes a problem. After we come out of school, we always come and brush our shoes, wash our uniforms, take the tea before we take supper, and after taking the duties, then we go outside and play, waiting for the bell. Then we go and eat the supper. After the supper, there are preps that we always go and do our homework or revise. Then after that, we go to the house. I'm in greenhouse, and our mom is Mom Elizabeth. What I love about her is she's always open to us. A problem, you can ask her because she always has a solution. In our house, we have 9 sisters that are with me, plus our small baby Faith, and our mom that comes later. Yeah, it is enjoyable than staying alone because you don't get idle. They keep you, and you will never get bored when you have sisters in the house. I love my work, being the head girl. When Mama Margaret needs some help, she calls me, and she always gives me some advice. because before I became a head girl, I didn't know everybody in Hekima, and I didn't know their reaction and how they stay in the houses. And when I became the head girl, I know everybody now, and I know everybody character, and it is simple to react with them. The work is good. Helping others is good. The way they are helping.
I am glad I came here because I had a bed of my own, in my own name. We never shared. I never had to look for somewhere to sleep. I never had to share with someone. I never used to think where I'll be next week. So I am glad I came to Hekima.
When I came to Hekima, life really just changed for me because for the first time, somebody gave me a hug and gave me a kiss. For the first time, we used to have consistent meals. That's when really my life began because that's when I started to discover who I am. That's when I learned to speak English. That's when I learned that there's a different life from the one I was used to. There's opportunities out here.
Hekima has really influenced my desire to give back to the community. Before I didn't know about caring about anybody. Before I came to Hekima, I didn't know that you could help somebody. But coming to Hekima and finding Mom Kate, I saw that, there is something called love, and you can share about somebody, you can care about somebody, you want somebody to do well in life. So Hekima has really played a big role in my life in a manner that I want to give to the community. I want somebody to do better than probably I'm doing. I want somebody to also have the life that Hekima gave me, because Hekima has really given me an opportunity, and it has taught me kindness. It has taught me, like, you know what, you can go back to the society and help somebody else who really needs that help.
I learned how to express myself like I am right now. I never felt any less of a person when I came to Hekima. I've always known that I'm beautiful, I am loved, I have a place to live. And it has really changed me because I got to go to school. My school fees was always paid, I didn't know how. Thanks to Mom Kate and the sponsors and the volunteers, I always had my school fees paid.
Hekima Place has been a helpful place for many of us. We are thankful for our sponsors and donors for all that they do for us. God bless them for their support, and I wish them many more blessings so they can continue to offer the help they give to us.
To be very honest, this is history in making. This is a place where history is made. When a child comes here and they find an environment where they are loved and appreciated and where they are empowered, so that after a couple of years here, they are given tools that can enable them to face their society. For me, Hekima Place is empowerment. Hekima Place is security. And here, like we always say, love conquers all.
You have the opportunity to be part of history. Hekima Place and Hekima Hills Learning Center wouldn't be possible without people across the globe caring about each girl, each student, and what their future could look like with our support. You have the power to show each girl that she is loved, that she is appreciated, that there are people in the world who care about her and her potential. The possibilities, the impact, the difference we can create in the lives of the girls living with us are endless. Together, we can build the future, one girl at a time.